Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial video. On this beginner friendly video, we'll be learning how to draft a simple skirt. I will show you the difference between a simple straight skirt and a pencil skirt. So let's get into it. Guys, please, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click the subscription button and subscribe, like, share and follow. So the measurements we need for this skirt pattern, this simple skirt pattern, is your waist circumference, that's your skirt waist, wherever you wear your waist, your skirt, your hip circumference and the length of your skirt. You also need the distance between your waist and your hip line. The distance between your waist and your hip line. So the measurements I'm going to be working with for this tutorial, the waist is going to be 29 inches, the hip 35, then the skirt length is going to be 22. Then the distance between the waist and the hip is going to be 9 inches. So let's get into it. Now you fold your material into two like so, and then you remove 2 inches. You ask, why am I removing 2 inches, right? It's going to be for your band. So when you remove that 2 inches, then you mark out your 9 inch, which is the distance from your waist to your hip line, right? So when you mark out your 9 inches, then you mark out the length of your skirt. So the length of the skirt I'll be using is 21 because of the amount of paper that I have. It's going to be 21, while I'll add 1 inch allowance as the allowance for the dress, right? So the length of the skirt we are going to be working with is 21. So now to impute our measurements, we are going to do our circumference divided by 4 plus either 1.5 inch or 2 inch allowance, depends on your preference. So we're going to do, for the waistline, we're going to do 29 divided by 4. Whatever we get, we're going to mark it on our waistline, right? So 29 divided by 4 is 7.25, I think. So you place your tape rule like so and then mark. Then on the hip line, you're going to do your hip measurement divided by 4. Now most people ask, why do we always divide our measurements by 4? Because when you fold your paper into two, right, the front part of your dress, if you're folding it into two, is 1, 2. Then the back is 3, 4 when you're folding it into two. So that's why you have to divide by 4. Hope this explanation is understood. So now, because we are cutting a simple straight skirt, the measurement I got for my hip line, which is 8.75, I measured it the same thing along the length of the skirt, right? So this is our measurement. Remember, the measurement I got for my hip line divided by 4, I got 8.75. I marked the same 8.75 at the complete length of my skirt. Why? Because we are actually drafting a simple straight skirt, right? So now I'm going to be adding my 1 inch allowance for this skirt. I'm going to add it on the waistline, on the hip line, and on the hemline, and then connect it. Can you see how I'm connecting it? I connected from the hip line to the hemline with my straight ruler, and then from the waist to our hip line, I'm using this curved ruler to connect it. Can you see? But even if you don't have a curved ruler, just try. So this is going to be our allowance. Now, this is how to draft a very simple straight skirt. The measurements that you need: your waist measurement, your hip measurement, the distance from your waist to your hip, and then the length of your skirt. Your measurements, you divide it by 4, and then you mark. You can either choose to make your allowance to be 1.5 or 2 inch allowance, depends on your preference. So now I want to show you how to make your skirt a pencil skirt. Now the hip area, I've added plus my allowance, I got 10.5, right? Now on that hip area, it depends on how tight you want your skirt to be. You can remove 2 inches, 2.5 inches. It depends on how tight you want your pencil skirt, the effect of the tightness, right? So I'm going to just use dotted lines to show you how a pencil skirt is meant to look like. Remember, you know, a pencil skirt is meant to be tight. It's tighter than a simple normal basic skirt. So can you see that from your hip line, please, you're not going to touch your hip measurement, just the hem of your skirt. So when you make it a pencil skirt, this is how it will be. Can you see that at the hemline, I just removed the 1.5 inch allowance that I added at the hemline. I removed it entirely. So now I'm just going to cut out the straight skirt so that we'll see it first before I'll show you I'll cut out the pencil skirt so that we'll know the difference. But look at it. Can you see? Just know that a simple straight skirt is not so tight. One, the hemline and the hip line, you take the same measurements for both of them. Can you see how it's looking? Your hip line and your hemline are the same thing. Now we've drafted the front pattern of this skirt. We are going to be drafting the back pattern of this skirt. We'll mark our skirt darts from the center point. Now you mark your darts with the bust span. If the bust span of your client is 8 divided by 4 is 4, you mark your dart leg as 4 inches. Hope you understand. So where you mark your dart leg is from your center front. You mark 4 inches and then you notch it. Now, the difference between the front and the back pattern of a skirt is just the zipper allowance area. Just the zipper allowance area. Now, you place your front pattern on top of a plain paper of another pattern paper, just as I'm doing on this video. Can you see? Just place it and create your zipper allowance area. Now, for the purpose of this tutorial, my zipper allowance is going to be 1 inch. So first things first, mark out your hip line, right? From that, your hip line now. Now, I want to teach us something. Most people, they cut their hip line, their zipper allowance straight. No, you shouldn't. You have to give it a curve. Use your curved ruler. Can you see how I curved it? Now, you ask me why. Why should I curve it? Because of your butt. It's going to give it that shape. If you look at it now, it's going to give it that shape of your butt. But if you cut it straight, it's not going to give you a perfect finishing when you're done sewing it. So you first of all create that butt shape. First mark out your hip line and then create that butt shape and then mark 1 inch allowance down, connect it as I'm doing it to your zipper allowance. So this is how you create your zipper allowance for your skirts. This is not only for any skirt you're making. Please always give it that shape at the butt line. It will give your dress a perfect finishing and a perfect shape for your client. And the reason is because of our butt area. Please don't cut your zipper allowance at the back straight next time. Please use this method. So this is just basically it. You cut it out like so, and then the back pattern of your skirt is ready. So as I said before, always remember to label your lines. And then always remember to notch your zipper allowance area, notch your dart legs, so that it will help you to guide you whenever you're cutting on your fabric. You know that you have to notch this particular area. So now the remaining thing you will do is just to trace out the sides. Can you see? So now this is our perfect simple skirt. You can use this pattern to cut your simple perfect skirt, right? Guys, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So now I just want to show us how a pencil skirt should look. This is how a simple straight skirt should look. Now for a pencil skirt, as I said before, you have to remove the allowance from the hemline, right? So if the allowance you added in your hip line is 1.5 inch, remove that 1.5 inch or 2 inches, but remove the 1.5 inch so that it will make the hem of your skirt, that's the length of your skirt, to be tighter. It will give you more fitting for those that want a pencil skirt, right? So you're just going to cut it out like so, and then your pencil skirt is ready. Can you see how I'm cutting it out? So this is how to achieve your pencil skirt from your simple straight skirt. So guys, this is the beautiful pattern of a skirt, and if you have any question, you let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. And if this tutorial is helpful to you, please like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscription is free, and you have I always upload tutorials every day, so you can ask me your questions, or you can send me your pictures for me to help you and explain some designs. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope this tutorial is helpful to you. This tutorial is beginner friendly. If you've not made a skirt before, you can easily draft out a skirt from this tutorial. Yes, if you're a beginner, this tutorial is beginner friendly for you. Please always remember to label your patterns so that you will not be confused. Thank you guys for watching, and see you on my next video.